morning, everyone. So far, we have been learning the title names of God. Today, we are going to see and be introduced to his very own personal name, Yahweh, and also the names Adonai and Jehovah. Stay tuned as we learn how they are all kind of linked together. So, we are first introduced to this name, Yahweh, in Exodus chapter 3, the well known story of Moses and the burning bush. And the setting is this: Moses is, in the Pharaoh's palace and living very comfortably, and but decides to run away as a young man from the comforts of his home, palatial home, in fact. Um, and the reason being, he just couldn't bear to see his own fellow men treated so mercilessly, unfairly, and as slaves, they were slave driven, while he lived in the lap of luxury. So he runs away, far away. And then he goes, he's a young man, he marries, he settles, and he, settles into a quiet life of just farming as a shepherd. And then this grand event happens, like God appears to him in the burning bush. And what is the purpose of his appearance is that God, and by now, mind you, Moses is an old man, and he has a bit of a stammer, and God is pulling him for this, just commissioning him into this big task of going and uh, leading the Israelites out of their slavery and into the promised land. Imagine this. And Moses is just, shaking and standing bare feet in front of the burning bush when God is talking to him. Imagine this and how overwhelmed he was. And then the first thing Moses asks God is, um, who should I say sent me? Because remember, in Egypt, they possibly were exposed to, the Israelites were exposed to lots of gods where the masters were worshipping. So he says, who should I say sent me? And God says, tell them I will be sent you. Now, it may be a little weird for Moses to go and say, I will be sent me. So in the next sentence, and so I think that I will be was pronounced as Yahweh has sent me. And then in the next sentence, he says, tell them the God of your ancestors sent you. The God of your ancestors, Yahweh, has sent you. So the word Yahweh means he will be. It means he is a self-existing, eternal God, existing before time, and there is no end or beginning to him. He is the Alpha, the Omega, the author of everything that is seen or unseen. Now, over time, this word Yahweh, the Israelites wanted to honor the sacred name, and they felt it's too sacred for mere mortals to just utter it on a daily basis. So they, what they did was they introduced the word Adonai. Adonai means Lord or Master. So in place of Yahweh. So whenever the word Yahweh appeared, instead they used the word Adonai. So now in the English Bibles also, when the translation took place from Hebrew to English, the word Adonai is mentioned as capital L, small o, small r, small d, Lord. Whereas wherever you see the word Yahweh, wherever is addressed in the English Bible, they use capital L, capital O, capital R, capital D, Lord. So it's sometimes used interchangeably, sometimes as Yahweh and sometimes as Adonai in the English versions. Now, um, over time, again, the Jewish scribes and scholars, when they went through the whole thing, they didn't want ever to make a mistake, where by mistake they would, mention this holy name Yahweh. So they came up with another fine plan. What they did was they took the two words Yahweh and Adonai. They took all the consonants from Yahweh and they took all the vowels from Adonai and combined them both and came up with this hybrid word Jehovah. So they all are kind of linked together, Yahweh, Adonai, and Jehovah. Now, what is the importance for us about this, personal name of God, which is Yahweh, which sounds so ancient, But it is so relevant and real for us even today. Unlike the title names of God, which are all nouns, like for example, El or Elohim means God, Yahweh, on the other hand, is a verb, meaning it is a continuous, unfinished action. It is to signify that he is alive and continues to be involved. He is not someone who's just seated on a fancy throne high up there somewhere in the heavens. He is a God who sent his son to this very earth that we live in to die for us and to save us. And he continues to live with us, in fact, right within us through the Holy Spirit to help us, encourage us, comfort us, guide us when we need every second of our lives. And he's a conscious presence in our lives every day. Our Yahweh, he was, he is, and he is to come. Have you met people who have this incredible ability where you introduce them to someone for the very first time, but somehow find a connection with that person? Well, my dad is one such person. You can put him, place him anywhere in the planet, introduce him to a total stranger, and he will somehow find a link with that person by somebody else that he knows, what they call 6 degrees of separation, the theory of 6 degrees of separation. Well, when you make that kind of a connection, how excited and how joyful, and you feel so, like you've known this person forever. Well, we have a God who has been linked with our past generation. He's very much present with our present generation, and he's definitely going to be connected with the future generations. You know how many of us are very familiar and live, in fact, in multi-generational homes. What an amazing, incredible assurance that this is, that the God of our past and present and future has lived, lives, and will live with us. Go with this assurance. God bless you.